Welcome to the WrestleTalk News. I'm Pete Quinnell. Following big WWE PLEs, there's normally a bit of a reset on the programming. New feuds, new alignments, returns, debuts, etc. We saw this on Raw last night with New Day returning, Shinsuke Nakamura's solidified heel turn and new feud, Chad Gable being awesome, etc. But there's one name that's reportedly been discussed that could be returning soon. According to PW Insider, there have been some rumblings recently within WWE of a Nia Jax return to the company. Jax made a surprise appearance in this year's Royal Rumble match, but she was not re-signed, and that was seemingly just a one-off deal. Nia obviously wasn't at Raw last night, but she could be back before long if this report is to be believed. Now that Ronda Rousey will be leaving WWE screens indefinitely, there's certainly a bit of a hole to fill. Would you like to see Jax back in WWE? Let me know in the comments, though I think I could guess the answer already. But there's another person in the women's division that's going to be out for a while, as the curse of the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships continues. After reports that WWE were hoping to settle down the women's tag belts after Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville won the belts, it seems that plan is now out of the window, as Sonya has torn her ACL. This was initially reported by TMZ, and PW Insider adds that Sonya is extremely well regarded backstage, and there's a lot of sympathy for her with this injury. Torn ACLs are quite severe, requiring a lot of in-ring time to be missed, as we've seen in the past, so we at WrestleTalk would like to wish Sonya the best in her recovery. While nothing official was announced on Raw aside from the injury itself, no tournament or anything to crown new champs, PW Insider is reporting that there is already a plan in place for the women's tag team titles, which is probably better than they're used to for the women's tag division, so silver linings, I guess. We'll just have to wait and see what those plans are. Sonya herself confirmed these reports and spoke about it on X. Still hate that, posting a video where she said, "I've torn my left ACL last week on SmackDown in my match against Bianca and Charlotte. I'll be out for an extended period of time due to the fact that I have to get surgery tomorrow. Obviously, it's super bitter to say that it's come to an end due to an injury, especially it being my first injury in wrestling or sports in general. Once again, I swear those titles are cursed, and once again, I'd like to wish Sonya the best in her recovery." There's some very interesting news coming from backstage in WWE though, as for last night's episode of Raw, PW Insider is reporting that Nick Aldis was backstage and working as a producer. There have been reports of WWE being interested in Aldis for a long time, and while I'm sure there's plenty of people out there who would have liked to have seen Aldis join WWE in a wrestling capacity, this seems to give some foundation to rumors of his signing with the company. Meanwhile, there's another producer role given to a wrestler, as Fightful Select is reporting that Bobby Roode was expected backstage at Raw last night too, being a producer. He reportedly wasn't on SummerSlam run sheets and is most likely shadowing, which seems to be a natural move for Roode as he's been out of action wrestling-wise for a year. Now, over to Luke.
For now, it's time for the return apparently a lot of you have been waiting for. The star man, the face that rates this place, Mark Markson. Mark, welcome back.
Hello, Luke. You're welcome. You've missed me. And I'm so excited to be here to remind you to reset your body clocks to Tokyo time. New Japan's G1 Climax is in full swing, and this year's lineup is unbelievable.
Honestly, Mark, I've been loving it so far.
Oh, really? What's your favorite match so far?
Oh, you want to ask? Oh, yeah, sure. I love the Eddie Kingston Tomohiro Ishii match. Like, yeah, the flying headbutt thing. It was
you mean
so
the match between the American and the Sellout? As if, Luke. Open your eyes. A much better pick for match of the year was Sonata versus Kaito Kiyomiya on night 7. The story here was that in this NJPW's Crown Jewel tournament, their world champion was being taken to the limit by an insurgent wrestler from a secondary promotion. Not only that, but each man has a shared history with the legendary Great Muta. So the opening stages of the match were brilliantly slow, with each man feeling the other out, not wanting to make a mistake. And as the match progressed, there were counters upon counters upon counters, and before we knew it, Kaito had started working over Sonata's knee, aiming to cut off his offense for the last 5 minutes. Draws are an important part of the G1, but the drama created through this match added an extra layer of tension to the closing stages. With time checks coming thick and fast, the near fall started piling up until Sonata managed to muscle Kaito's shoulders to the mat for the 3 count. With 2 seconds remaining. I mean, Luke, what a year it's been. These matches keep getting better, and this one was 11 stars.
How in the blue hell have we arrived at 11?
Well, I enjoyed this match as much as I enjoyed the last one, which was 10, and I'm excited to be back. So, 11 stars.
Thank you, Mark.
Don't worry, I got it.
Duolingo is working great for him. And now it's time for my review of Monday Night Raw, aka the bloody hell, you can clearly tell that Vince McMahon was messing around with this show for the last few months, but is now injured and can't mess around with it anymore edition of Monday Night Raw. In about 5 minutes. The show opened with a long recap of SummerSlam with Michael Cole, sorry Kevin Patrick, touting the show's success, which he attributed much of it to Cody Rhodes, who came out for a promo to set up his next feud. Could possibly be with Seth Rollins, who came out to essentially challenge Cody for the belt. Now, on paper, this is a good thing. It's a big program for Seth, it's a big program for Cody, and importantly, it's a big program for the title, which really needs it. The problem is that Cody Rhodes has been so vocal about not wanting to win that belt because it means jack spit to him, and it isn't finishing his story, that it's hard to get invested in any story they might want to tell with Cody versus Seth. The Judgment Day came out and did their usual shtick, and Balor attacked Rollins from behind. Sami ran down for the save, and I smell a trios match player. Rollins seemed annoyed about all of this, which played into the rest of the show, as he and Cody could not get on the same page or be cool with each other, even though Sami did his best to play peacemaker. There was a fatal four-way to crown a new #1 contender to Gunther's IC title between Chad Gable, Tommaso Ciampa, Ricochet, and Matt Riddle, which makes a lot of sense when you think about it. Gable earned this chance by taking Gunther to the limit last week. Ciampa earned this shot by losing to Shinsuke Nakamura last week. Ricochet got this opportunity by losing to Logan Paul at SummerSlam, and Matt Riddle got this chance by losing to Ludwig Kaiser last week. Oh wait. Cynicism aside, this match ruled, because of course it did. Look at the talent in the ring. There were some really cool, crazy, and inventive spots, and a brilliant finish that saw Chad Gable try to hit the Chaos Theory suplex on Matt Riddle, but Ricochet stole the move to hit the recoil, so Gable tried to hit Ricochet with the Chaos Theory suplex, but that move was stolen by Ciampa with a famouser, so Gable instead hit the Chaos Theory suplex on Ciampa for the win. Great finish to a great match, and a brilliant next contender for Gunther. Shinsuke Nakamura ended his feud with Bronson Reed by beating him in a decent little match, which was a nice bit of tidy booking as it fed into the main event. More on that in a little bit. Raquel Rodriguez still can't get cleared, but hey, at least she's found new friends in Candice LeRae and... Who is that? Oh, it's in Indy Hartwell, yeah! I forgot she was called up. Isn't it funny how Vince has this life-altering surgery and the following week we get the on-screen returns of Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell? It's funny that, isn't it? And you can tell this was definitely a Triple H book show, as there was only one women's match in the show and it was pretty heatless, lol. It was set up by Becky Lynch hyping her match next week with Trish Stratus, but was interrupted by Zoe Stark, who was interrupted by Shayna Baszler. We then got Baszler versus Stark, which was slightly overshadowed by Becky making overt references to not being booked on SummerSlam and Triple H's seeming digs at her social media activity during the post-show press conference. You see, she brought lemonade with her to the show, the one that she made because she wasn't wrestling on the pay-per-view. And Wade Barrett described it as not bitter at all. And she then did the Triple H spit after Baszler picked up the win. The positives here is that I was worried that Baszler might fall to the side after the Ronda feud, but they've moved her straight into a feud with Becky Lynch, one of the biggest stars in the company. So that gets a big, massive thumbs up from me. But the other Becky stuff, I guess it's just for people like me and you, the ones who know about the issue she's had with her lack of SummerSlam match. But I mean, I don't think it's going to build to a Triple H and Becky feud, but I mean, it might do. JD McDonough chatted with Finn Balor earlier in the show and made the astute observation that the Money in the Bank briefcase is causing issues within the Judgment Day. Gee, you think? And then he attacked Sami Zayn backstage and announced that Sami couldn't wrestle in the main event and Shinsuke Nakamura offered his services instead. The Miz came out for a promo to call out LA Knight because brand split LOL, calling him a flash in the pan and an Attitude Era cosplay. Miz pointed out that he's been here for nearly 20 years and has done it all, despite people saying that he never would. What has Knight done? Well, Knight responded by saying that WWE would never take the chance on him because he wouldn't have laid down and taken all of the BS that Miz had to put up with in his early run. Instead, the company kept betting on the wrong horses like the Miz. They had a brief brawl and Knight hit his finish to stand tall. This was awesome, pun intended. Even though Knight stumbled over his words a couple of times, he still felt like a megastar. But it's hard to take The Miz seriously given his booking over the last few years. He was beaten by Snoop Dogg at WrestleMania, let's not forget. I'm really not into the idea of a Knight versus Miz feud, especially because they're on different brands. But this segment did make me forget about a lot of that and hyped me to see them get it on. So yeah, this worked. Yeah. Viking Raiders issued an open challenge which was accepted by a returning New Day, who beat them in a fun little tag match. It's so great to see Woods and Kofi back on screen. They then told not Kathy Kelly that they wanted to win the tag belt. Sadly, it's not good news for the other tag belt, as they announced Sonya Deville's injury and that they need to figure out what they're going to do with these belts. And the main event saw Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, and Shinsuke Nakamura beat Judgment Day in a decent trios match when Cody and Seth worked together to pin Finn Balor. Sucks to be Finn Balor. Cody and Rollins finally shook hands, but then Nakamura attacked Rollins to establish himself as the next contender for the belt, which is a great choice. And this was a really good epilogue edition of Monday Night Raw. It tied up some of the stuff from SummerSlam and set us up with stuff for the next few months of TV. It also felt like the most Triple H show since Vince came back into creative, and that was very refreshing, and this was a refreshing 4 out of 5 episode. The summer season of WrestleLeague came to a dramatic climax at SummerSlam, which means it's time to officially announce our amazing winners. Our summer season champion is Steve Beebe, who amassed 103 points and will receive a $250 Amazon voucher as his prize. But there was a 3-way tie for second place, but thanks to their superior tiebreaker question skills, William Winslow and Adam Kent took second and third place to win $150 of Amazon vouchers respectively. Sure, the summer season is now over, but the autumn-fall season is just weeks away and starts with a banger at AEW All In. To give yourself a chance to win the autumn season while proving you know the most about predetermined wrestling results, you can sign up completely free using the link in the video description down below. Make sure you click the notification subscribe button too to make sure you never miss a show, because I missed a couple of shows and that's why I did so badly. I mean, obviously I did badly because I'm bad at predicting things. Just go check out SummerSlam. But yeah, also I missed shows. That's why I did badly. Anyway, go check out Ollie Davis's news episode, the one that's on screen right now, as he talked about more frustrations that people have got with Roman Reigns and their WWE booking.
Premium live event outside of WrestleMania. That means, revenue-wise, SummerSlam pulled in over $8.1 million, making it